Hey guys, JawsTheSharkReviews here, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Blokees Transformers Dark of the Moon Classic Class Megatron. So here he is in his bot mode, but first, here we have the packaging, and yeah, let's get a close-up look at it right here. So yeah, pretty much as what I said with the some of the other classic class reviews I've done for Blokees. As you can see, the packaging right here is very reflective. It's much easier to see in person, but you can kind of see it here on camera. You know, like right here has kind of all the different colors and everything when you move it around a certain way. But yeah, so you got some logos on the top. Here we have Megatron just giving us a nice little growl. And let's see, 92 pieces, all this right here. Here's the top. Here is the bottom, and you can see how much I paid for it. Here's the side. Here's the other side. And here's the back, so you get some little shots right here and there. And that is pretty much it for the packaging. So moving right along, here we have Megatron, and yeah, he looks like Megatron. That's all I could say right here. So yeah, let's get a close look at him right here. Now obviously this is a Blokees model kit, so there's no alt mode or anything like that, so you know, obviously that's the one downside. You don't get no alt mode, or but I think what would be cool is if they made like separate builds, like, you know, you got their robot modes, but then there's also like they like include an alt mode. I think they did that with Rise of the Beast Optimus Primal, if I'm not mistaken. They did a classic class for both his robot mode and for his gorilla mode. So I think they should do a little bit more of that. I know it'll probably cause more people to go frantic because of all the double dipping they kind of have to do, but I think it's honestly an idea worth toying around, I guess, to see if it works or not. But anyways, yeah, let's look at the face sculpts, and yeah, that definitely looks pretty good, pretty okay, I guess. They kind of left his right eye, like they have it all damaged here, sure, but like I'm pretty sure there's a little more damage than like this, because his right eye only looks slightly unintact, but it was a lot worse looking if you actually saw the movie. I mean, yeesh. Here's the chest details, and yeah, he has two different hands, obviously kind of skewing to his Revenge of the Fallen self, where he had the normal hand and then he had the little hand. It's not little anymore, but it's still weird looking. And here is the back. And yeah, I appreciate, you know, despite these being like, they're somewhere between, sometimes they're like $10 and sometimes $20, like as you saw. Like between, those prices and just, them being simple little model kits, they do pack in a nice amount of detail, so I will give Blokees props on that. I think that's why a lot of people like them, is just because of, the simplicity, but also still giving it plenty of love, in terms of just from a designer standpoint, I guess. So yeah. So design-wise, he looks good, but honestly, I'm not a huge fan of the way he's colored. Like, I know it's the Dark of the Moon Megatron is probably one of the hardest ones to do on, like, a cheap figure, because of all the, like, the rust and everything. He had, like, chains on his torso, and but I feel like it has to blend together a little bit better. Like, I don't know, his head just seems too, like, unfinished. Like, it just gray, and that's it. Like, there's a little bit more, like the packaging. I'm trying to look on the packaging. I mean, yeah, it kind of gives off that vibe too, but if you look at the movie model, there's a little bit more going on. So I don't know, it could have been just a budget reason, but that's really my only complaint really here with the the figure, the kit, whatever you want to call it. So, yeah. But anyways, now for the articulation. His head is on the ball joint, so you can move it side to side. You can move it up this much, and only down that far. You know, it's just because of the natural shape of his head. So, what can you do? What else? His shoulders are on ball joints, so you can get a full range movement there. A little in and out, not too much out. Well, maybe you'd have to adjust a little. Yeah, you'd have to move his like little shoulder pieces off to the sides, but you could get that going on. His elbows do bend, so you got that. They're pretty tight. I'm sure if you played around with it a little bit more, it'd loosen. But and let's see, he also does have a like a forearm kind of swiveled because of how he's put together. What else? The thumb does move, and of course the fingers all move, but you know they're all on one piece right here. Actually, it's on a ball joint, if you can see, and then the thumb's on like a separate joint. And as for his other hand, he does have a wrist swivel here. Like he has it here, but not here. But I can kind of, no, actually kind of does. No, he does with the ball joint. It's just a little more hidden. But he does have it here too. I guess that's what I should have said. He does have a wrist swivel here, and since this hand's just a big old claw, you know, you can get all kinds of movement right here. You can move this piece in and out, or this piece in and out, you know, so that's just how that works out there. And then for the waist, it's actually, they did a really cool thing here, so, well, that popped off. That was not the cool thing. Obviously, you know, he does have waist movement, but here's what's interesting. So if you push out the upper half of his body from the lower half, like kind of pull it apart, instead of like snapping off, it actually just pushes out the top half, so that way now you can get more of a range right here with the ball joint. So yeah, you know, you can just have him tilt around, you can look down further and look up, and you know that's so much better, because honestly, like when it's like this, you know, it's not bad, but you know, you don't get a lot of waist movement, or kind of a little, but like this is still a pretty cool thing. I just discovered on accident, because when you're putting them together, he starts out like this, and then you're like, oh, well, I guess you just gotta push it down one more time, and now it's perfect. But yeah, you could do that if you want, just push it out, and you could give him all kinds of tilts. So yeah, I think that's pretty cool. That wasn't meant to happen, but his legs do kick up about this far. I think you can kind of move it out a little more, and then it pops out. It just popped out again. And the legs can't really kick back straight, but you can do that if you wanted. And he could do the splits only that much. So unfortunately, because of his big chunky thighs, and a bit of his waist too, you know, just the waist engineered, it's a little hindered, so that kind of sucks. What else? And his knees do bend, so hey. And his ankles are on ball joints, so you can get all kinds of wiggly movement there. And yeah, that is pretty much it for the articulation on this guy. So, you know, it's below average. I'd honestly say it's, you know, it's definitely compromised in certain areas, like the waist to an extent, but you know, you could adjust it if you wanted to. The legs obviously are very hindered, so it's just kind of a matter of, well, it's not perfect articulation, but I guess I'll take it as it is, you know, that kind of thing. But yeah, so there you have that. Actually, before we move any further, I want to showcase pretty much something that I've, you know, showed off in the other classic class reviews I've done, I've only done like a few, but so as with the other ones, if you kind of tap or kind of give some sort of forced contact like onto him, his eyes will glow. Like I didn't even like I didn't go like bang or anything like that. I just kind of tapped it, and by doing that, you can turn on his I'm not sure if it's an LED light. It might be an LED light. Eyes. See, this is eyes light up, so that's pretty cool. And you can actually see it. Oh, that actually looks really cool. So if you're in a dark environment and you just happen to tap this guy, he's got tiny eyes, so I mean it's not really, you're not really gonna notice it that much, but just seeing that though, that freak you out, wouldn't it? But yeah, there's that. I think you could tap on the top of the head too if you wanted. But yeah, it's not the most noble thing, like especially with some of these other guys, but like definitely with this Megatron because his eyes are a little smaller. But I still appreciate that they put the effort to include that, so you kind of give a little bit more life to it. Yeah, see here, he just looks kind of dead, but you tap that and now he's alive. Hooray. So yeah, anyways, now for the accessories. He only comes with one, but it's the only one he really needed to come with, and that is his rifle. So here it is right here. It's not really focusing that well, I guess that's alright. But yeah, there it is. We got a little bit's detailed, quite a bit. It's actually quite, especially right around here. It's quite complex, for like a little model kit, I guess. So yeah. Now he can only hold it in his right hand because his left hand is just one big claw. So good luck trying to put that in. Let me see. Can you try? Maybe it just loosely though. But it's intended for his right hand, and you can tell because there's a tab right here that points this way. So logically, you would assume that it would go onto the palm of his right hand and the right hand only. And yes, you're right, because there's a slot right here, and you just want to just allow some space in here, and then just pop it in right in there, and then it should attach into his hand. If I can get it in there we go. Just close the thumb, and there you go. There you guys have Megatron with his rifle, so he can go pew 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 to Sentinel, to reclaim his pride, I guess, his throne as a ruler of Earth, or whatever he was yapping about at the end. But yeah, so there you have that. And that reminds me, I don't think I mentioned this at the beginning, but Blokees is doing some Dark of the Moon stuff now, or at least for their Classic Class line. Because there's Megatron, there's Bumblebee, who I also got the other day with Megatron, and then there's Jetwing Optimus Prime, which I might get at some point. And then in the near future, they just revealed that they're doing a Sentinel Prime. So I'll definitely get that because I love Sentinel's design in Dark of the Moon. So yeah, that's pretty cool that they're doing that, because honestly, Dark of the Moon probably had the best designs in all 5 of Michael Bay's movies. Megatron, I'm not sure if this one's my favorite Megatron design. I kind of like the one in The Last Night, but I don't know. But I won't yap on too much longer, so here, I'll just set this guy right here. So yeah, but anyways, now for the robot mode size comparisons. Here he is with the 2007 Megatron, and here he is with the 2007 Optimus Prime. And before I wrap up this review, I just want to show one last little thing, per usual for these Blokees figures, and that is the bass right here. Not a bass guitar, but just a figure bass. So Yeah, so here it is right here, and they come with these two sort of smoke sort of colored flame pieces right here. So they always seem to come with some sort of flame looking accessories, like whether it's like purple or the usual orange, or now as you can see here, like a black kind of color. So yeah, that's what they came here. They came came up with, I guess, with Megatron right here, which makes sense because he turns into some old husky being down truck. So makes a lot of sense, honestly. You know, they got a little design on here too. This is Blokees there, and here's the Bob, nothing there. So yeah, so as you can see right here on the bottom of his on the heels of his feet, you'll see there's these two big holes right around where his heels would be, or his heel spur, I guess, would be. And yeah, you just want to attach that to these two posts right here and there. And yeah, let's go ahead and do that. And there you go. So, you know, you could pose them around if you wanted to, or just leave them in the stack position like this. It's up to you. It's your figure. So, but yeah, there you guys have him with his base. So there you guys have my review for the Blokees Transformers Dark of the Moon Classic Class Megatron. And yeah, in my opinion, not as great as some of the other ones I messed with, like the Optimus and Megatron from the 07 movie. You know, and it mostly comes down to the paint, really, because I think it is a little bit lacking. You know, like with the 07 Megatron, they made sure to, you know, paint all his silver areas silver, and the goldish bronzish areas, well, goldish bronzish, if that's even a thing. And you know, and it pulled off really nicely, just for being, you know, a small $10 to $20 model kit. And even for Optimus Prime, you know, with all his flame decals, like, you know, they nailed it right in the spot. So I don't see why they had to just kind of dip out here on this Megatron. Like, I know it's a little bit harder to get in the little rust looking details, but I'm sure the folks over at Blokees can do it. Like, I believe in them. They can do it. I don't see why they can't, because, you know, they've proven that they basically are able to do you know, decos like that. I don't know, maybe that's just me, but sculpting wise though, it's pretty good. You know, it absolutely matches, you know, his on-screen appearance. It's just, I think, you know, with a little more paint, a little more decoing, I think it could look a lot better. And I'm sure that there's going to be somebody out there that's gonna, you know, get this guy and customize him, and I think it would look fantastic. I'm just waiting to see that though, you know. And you know, I do like his rifle. I like the way that they designed it, and I think honestly that too could have some paint, because, you know, just a little glossy paint. Like, I don't know, it seems like they kind of ran out of money from whatever budget they were given, so they're like, okay, here, let's just make the plastic bits look, you know, have like his what's the word I'm looking for? The palette, the color palette. Yeah, make him mostly like this muddy brown, and then give him this light gray, and that's it. Like, that's just that doesn't sit with me well. But overall though, another complaint too is obviously the I mean, this is probably not as big of an issue. It's more of a nitpick, but it's the kind of hindrances they has on, you know, some areas of his articulation, especially when, you know, we're talking about the kind of hips area. But that's not as bad. I think it's a lot more noticeable with the paint. So but that's all I gotta say for this review. So yeah, so anyways guys, make sure you guys like, subscribe, comment, share for more, and comment down below what you guys think of this model kit / figure. So yeah, anyways guys, as always, till all, R1.